Oh yeah. Are you emotionally intelligent? Like, how would you know if you were emotionally intelligent? You just have a higher EQ than most people. It is simple. Do people come to you for advice? And when you give them those advice, they actually are sound. Not that you just tell them to suck it up. You tell them everybody goes through it, bro. There's somebody's having it worse than you. Somebody who's emotional intelligent comes from a very, very different angle, you see. A much more, with more depth, more understanding. As if they were, I don't know, coming from experience or talking from experience. Excuse me, if you see me stir, right, there is tea in front of me, and I have butter and chapati. Hold on, chapati, okay? Not that, hold on, not that little weird, this is the real chapati. The real chapati. Not the chapati you get from the supermarket. Them son mother of bitches make from the supermarket. The ones that's white and it comes with like papers on top of it on stack and you just chuck it on the pan. No, that is not the real kapape. This is the real chapati. I call that a kapape. This is a chapati. The ones that the Indian makes. The ones that the Sudanese and the Kenyan makes. It's the real chapati. Sorry, I'm getting derailed. Maybe this is not a good display of emotional intelligence, but I'm getting angry over the small fine details of what is a chapati, what is the real chapati. As long as it's thick, like this, eh, that is a real chapati. If it's very thin, that is not a chapati. It's a kapape. I'm sorry. Let us continue. I get worked up over that little thing because I grew up eating chapati. I just wasted time. I'm wasting your time. You don't even care about this chapati thing. Let's get to the topic, shall we? Emotional intelligence, right? Is when somebody think you are soft. If somebody ever calls you soft, that person you can guarantee is not emotionally intelligent because emotionally intelligent people tend to think on both sides. They have to think on what benefits them and the other person. And when you're thinking on both sides, you're thinking what's best for the other person too, as well as what's best for yourself. I just woke up. I think I have that thing in my eye. Okay, it's gone. Right? You are thinking of what's best for the other person as well. This is what if you somebody who grew up close to the street or the hood rats, you've been to projects. These kids grew up in a space where people didn't have time to sit and process their emotions. They didn't have time, right, to be guided by somebody else. So when I say most people that I've met that grew up from the street or come from a rough background, they lack emotional intelligence, I'm not beating down on them. It's just the environment did not allow them, right? The environment did not allow them to foster a foundation where they could be able to explore emotions on a various range of emotions. They weren't allowed that opportunity. And then you get somebody who's like a flower, growing from the ground, from the concrete, a flower growing in a dark room. So somebody who's very emotionally intelligent that came from a rough background, I would consider, is Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is very highly intelligent, even though he was raised in Compton. His emotional IQ is high. It's high off the roof. This is why he's able to connect with you and use his words in a very anyway. So what I'm trying to get at is it doesn't matter if you're born in the hood. It's just that kids that were born in the hood that I have met, right? Because I was born in a refugee camp. That's not the hood, bro. You still had people process their emotions. Well, I was born in rough areas, so I can kind of relate to um, Kendrick Lamar. Like, I was born in Kenya in a refugee camp, in a household where people don't process their emotions. My old man has the least of the emotional intelligence of anybody I've ever met on this God's planet, on this earth. You get me? So people often think that female actually have a higher EQ. No, it's the men. It's just that in my situation, in my case, my old man lacks emotional intelligence. But my mother is very high in emotional intelligence. But from what I've seen, it's usually the men that are kind of like high in emotional intelligence. And then that kind of contradict. because we think females are more emotionally withdrawn, much more into themselves, and quick to react. That is true as well, but they don't process it. They do react, they do express these emotions more than we do, the females. But the males sit with the emotions, time to process it, time to assess. You become somewhat of like a stoic, you know, the natural stoics. There are natural stoics among us. Those friends, have you ever had a friend he just appeared to just sort of get a hang of his life? You know, he's handling it well when it comes to the emotional stuff, of course. He may be highly emotionally intelligent, but he lacks money. And that's the thing too. Highly emotional intelligent people only need two things in this world, bro. They already got the gift, right, of being highly intelligent. And when you get the money involved too, bro, it's over for everyone. So I don't even care, bro. You could have a high IQ, you know. I don't care about the IQ. I care about the EQ. You get me? I don't care about the intelligent quarter. I care about the emotional quarter because emotional quarter plus money equal world domination. You will literally dominate the world, no problem. No problem. You want to communicate something, you do it in a mature manner, and you got the backing of funds, money, and you get whatever you need done. No crying about it, no ifs and buts, no doubting yourself, no lacking confidence. You work all this out by now. And so what I want to get to the boys that want to improve their emotional intelligence now that we have established who are the emotional intelligent people, well, how do you improve your emotional intelligence? For me, it comes down to a few things. You got to be willing to be honest with nobody but the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. You understand? Nobody else can help you in this case of emotional intelligence. Of course, it's emotional intelligence after all, bro. There's no test, there's no criteria, there's no curriculum, there's nothing that you got to tick the box. You don't got to sit in the and pass. No, you can never pass. You can never pass. Emotional intelligence really, really depends on just you to get it done, to sort of understand your surrounding. So somebody who's emotionally intelligent will understand that money is necessary. You get me? You might have to say I'm a slave and go slave away and get money. Yes, you admit it. Suck it up. You know, support your family or whatever. This is why I say men are much more. They have a higher form of emotional intelligence. It's not to scratch the boys' back, and now they're gonna scratch my back because I'm looking for them. No, boys, sorry, boys. I'm neutral. I don't like the females and I don't like the boys. I just chill with whoever's intelligent, both emotionally and the normal form of intelligence. I fuck with those people, whether you're a girl or a boy. I don't care. If you can see, right, something beyond someone else, I fuck with you. I don't really like be pandering to people. So when I say men are much more intelligent, it's from what I've seen. But also I'll be honest with you and say, yes, from what I've seen, some of my uncles and my own man, my old man, when you say old man in Australia, it means your dad, is not emotionally intelligent at all. This guy will literally just do whatever he wants with that like a tunnel vision and then forget as if you exist. You understand? That's not emotionally intelligent at all. You gotta be considerate of others. Like, oh, this person is around me. I should turn excuse me, I should turn down the music or something and respect their space. Oh, this person, even though they're more younger than me, I understand what they're going through, so I'm just gonna let them be and leave them alone and withdraw back and take a few step back and allow them, give them the freedom to. I am not emotionally intelligent, bro. I can see my own emotions and process them. But I've never been good at it. Like I've never been the type to sit down and say I'm going through something. I'm just been dealing with this. No. By the time I go out into the world, I've already dealt with my problem, and that's the thing I want to get across to you is whether you have emotional intelligence or not, it's probably best to look at other people, how they act. So if you think somebody has a high emotional intelligence, it doesn't have to be somebody alive. For example, Marcus Aurelius has a very high form of emotional intelligence. If you read the meditation by Marcus Aurelius, you understand. And a few of the other Stoic philosophers, they have a very high form of emotional intelligence. That is why they are Stoics. They're doing something that you're not doing. So to improve your emotional intelligence is simple. Whatever habits you have, whatever kind of illicit substances you use, stop that. Because they are slowing you down, bro. They're making you like an animal who just, what is that animal? The mold. Is it the mold? Mold, you know, the animals that just digs on the ground and they just dig tunnels on the ground. I don't know. We don't have moles in Australia, do we? Mole Man. Think of Mole Man from the X-Men. Most of you on illicit substances, whatever it is, you slow your life down. You block everyone else, and then you tune into yourself, right? And you're worried about you and nothing else. If you're always worried about you, but you can't see what other people are going through, and you can't learn emotional intelligence. Somebody says I was emotionally intelligent. I said no, I was forced to be emotionally intelligent because as a kid, unlike it, it probably is like you when you're in high school. You went to high school, primary school, whatever, bro. You were sort of forced with other people to live together, to work together, to play together. And from there you begin to see some kids are different than others. There are kids that are just really, really ultra super selfish, and God bless their soul. You should be selfish too. I'm a big proponent of selfishness, believe it or not. I think everybody should be selfish because if I know you're selfish and I'm selfish, brother, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to bitch about. Let's say you give me something, right? I give you something back. If you don't give me something and I know you're selfish, then next time I don't give you something, you should know that I'm also selfish and there should be no argument at all. There should be no worry, oh, why didn't you give me that? Well, you didn't give me that. So we're both on the same, where there's an understanding, you're selfish, I'm selfish. And if you pretend to be selfless, you can fool other people. And then deep down, those are the really selfish people, the selfless ones. Anyways, emotional intelligence is simple. If you are considerate, right, of other people, that is it. That is it. And there's another level too. I'll add another layer to it. If you are able to assess your own emotions, for example, there are things that I do that are bad, and I admit those things that are bad. Even though you do them, I'm not saying be perfect. Just do those things and fix them over the time. You're emotionally intelligent. You admit to them. You're emotionally intelligent. I know somebody. Everybody has done something for them. But if you ask those people, right, has this guy ever done anything for you? They often go, no, come to think of it, no. But he always thinks that he's the victim. Those type of people cannot be helped. I don't care if it's male or female. They are ungrateful. And it's probably best, even if you have a high emotional intelligence, you think I'm an empath, all of this bullshit. A higher form of emotional intelligence is to realize that that person is a fuckwit. They are going to ask, 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 and ask, and ask you until the end of earth, and they'll never give you anything in return. So I'm not telling you here, be a dumb cunt, right? Just give it your time, give everything to everybody, just so they think you're emotionally intelligent. That's not what I'm saying. The level of emotional intelligence is when you realize that a majority of human beings are kids, and you got to treat people like children. And then you build this fire within you to not be the one that needs to be treated like a child. And you escape. You have a form of high emotional intelligence. Now you're the one who looks after others, give them advice. You're the stoic one. It's not that crazy, bro, to think about this shit. The stoic is within you. I don't have it. It's not something that I could give you. It's something that I could point you to. And that's all that I'm doing. So the stoic, the emotionally intelligent one, is inside of you, whether you're male or female. And it's not something that you gotta tell people. They just know. People just know this person, the way he carries himself. Yeah, nah, he doesn't seem to be scared to live at all. Those are the emotionally intelligent ones. They look life in the face, no matter how shit things are. They just smile and go, there's always an answer. If you say that there's always an answer and you always admit to your wrongs and you always consider other people before yourself, you are emotionally intelligent. I don't care what anybody say, what any therapist say. Oh, well, I do care what any therapist say because those people that go into psychiatry, therapy, psychology, whatever, those people are the ones that tend to be emotionally intelligent. Why do you think old people tend to be emotionally intelligent as the older they get or mature, as we say? It's because they've lived through all of these. They've lived through the phase of being a child, the needy one, the greedy one, the selfish one, and they found nothing in it. And so the older they got, they realize these things are kind of negative traits that I have to let go, And in order to live more peacefully, it's probably best if I understand my own emotions, bro, because this vehicle here is going to be alive for about 100 years. In Australia, there's a life expectancy of 82 years. I'm 27. I have to sort out these emotions or I'm just going to be a train wreck, a crash out. So, you either sort out your problems, your emotional EQ, brother, today, or you're going to be a train wreck for the rest of your life, blaming people, blaming your parents, blaming your friends, blaming your girlfriend, blaming the government, blaming some shadow faced people in the shadow. The shadow faced people that run the world. Those are my friends, and I am the leader of the shadow faced people. The Illuminati.